and welcome to the Disabled Team, and welcome to Monday night's social. I hope everybody's doing well. How you doing, Molly? You all right?
You all right, buddy?
Yeah, mate. You?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. Good man. Good man. Got a lot to talk about today. Titchy's running slightly late. Lee's going to be with us as well. It's just Lee's had a problem with his big TV on wall, so he's had to watch the game downstairs with me. Did you watch the Everton game, Molly?
I can't believe how poor Spurs are.
Horrible,
Oh, I
aren't
hope, I hope they play like that against us. Dear
they?
oh
Yeah, I
dear.
know. They're not very good, are they?
They were terrible. Absolutely terrible. Sorry,
Well,
Stu,
that point,
I didn't realise you'd started.
that point, mate, puts Leeds United back at bottom three.
Does it? Hello,
Yeah,
Lee.
Hello.
I'm afraid so, mate. Well, all of us are going to get you coming up, right? I want to try talk a little bit about what's gone on over this last weekend. Good evening, Brother Titch. I just
Hey
want
up,
to talk
Titch.
about what's gone on over this weekend. And one of the stories is obviously what next for Tottenham. What you know, they thought getting rid of Conte had solved all the problems. I've even done like a little banner for you, like a little menage thing. There you go. So what next for Tottenham? What is next for Tottenham, Mally? The sacks of Conte. Apparently Pochettino's turned them down.
Has he?
Um, yeah, Nagelsmann's the new favourite for Chelsea, and Rodgers is the new favourite for Tottenham. Brendan Rodgers.
Oh my God. And Potter's the favourite for Leicester, I believe.
It's mad, isn't it? It's the right merry-go-round.
Crazy.
What a
I,
Sunday
th-
we had.
I thought Marsh might have put his name in at for Leicester's job.
Marnie says that there was only one team ever winning that game. Everton were unlucky. I think Everton were unlucky not to win the game. And as for Kane, I know what you mean. He got sent. He did a dirty tackle on Gray,
It pushed
and then
him in. It pushed him in back, didn't it?
Decore turned around and pushed him in face.
Yeah, which were wrong. He shouldn't have done that anyway. But Kane made the most of it.
Kane knew exactly what we were doing, mate. I'm afraid he knew exactly what we were doing.
But what a goal! What a goal by Kane!
Yeah. It
Unreal.
left Lloris flat-footed and just admired it going to back at net, didn't it?
Crazy. Didn't even try. He didn't even try and save it.
I think he thought it were going wide, you know.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking. Mate, he did hit it. It was a great goal.
You know, that result before that, I thought everything were going well.
Yeah, never mind. Never mind. We've got to do it tomorrow.
Right. Well, do you want to have a look at? Shall we recap on the weekend's fixtures and see what Demille short table and see where that leads us. Okay. So let's start with the game started with Chelsea versus Aston Villa. It finished Chelsea 0, Aston Villa 2. Let's be honest, Mally. It was the final coffin in Potter's final nail in Potter's coffin, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I read an article today, Mally. Do you know that the players they had nasty? They were nicknamed. They were nicknaming nasty names. They didn't have no respect for Potter whatsoever. None of them. The players were absolutely terrible. Yeah.
It's awful, isn't it?
It's a British manager who's failed again, isn't it?
Yeah, they have been poor. But he got a 20 million payout or something. So,
something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, so he'll be happy. And especially if he walks straight into another job.
Yeah.
You know, if he walks into a Leicester job, great payout.
And then you see a lot of points happened again. A lot of results were against us this week. Forest getting a 1-1 draw with Wolves.
Mm.
Here's another brother of ours. Here he is, brother Kieran. How are you doing, Kieran?
All right, Kieran.
Morning. How we doing, chaps?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I just got up and got to see the second half of that game. And, my God, I've never seen a team do their best to lose a game than I've just witnessed there.
Horrible, wasn't it? Horrible.
They are absolutely dog shit. How are they in the top 4? I just can't believe. Really can't believe it.
Oh, terrible.
There you go. Anyway, good goal by
Going through results. We haven't got. We're just going through results. We haven't got to West Ham yet. I'm still on Saturday. So Crystal Palace versus Leicester. Final game of Brendan Rodgers' time at Leicester after 4 years. Crystal Palace got the first win at year. So when we were talking, remember, Kieran, when we had this debate with TD5 about did they do the right thing in bringing Hodgson in the week for that manager bounce? It looks like it's worked.
It looks like it has. I think I picked Palace to beat them. I think. But it has worked, hasn't it? You know, because they've got a good run of fixtures coming up that they can win. So whether Vieira would have done it anyway, I don't know, because Leicester are looking fairly average at the moment. They're looking worrying. If you're a Leicester fan now, you would be really worried. But there you go. Yeah, done it. They got the 3 points. I've never thought that Palace would go down myself anyway. I always thought they'd be safe. There's too much pace and goal scoring ability in that team, I think.
Totally agree. And then Brighton managed to get a 3-3 draw with Brentford. Arguably one of games at weekend. If you're neutral, it was a brilliant game. Really good game of football. Two teams going after Amazon Tongs.
Them birds are in good, fine voice in Australia, Kieran.
What's that, the birdies? Yeah, I know.
Love it.
You can hear them. Yeah, we've got a few in the garden this morning, especially at this time morning. You know, when we had a couple of weeks ago, it's 10 hours difference. It's 8 o'clock, they're quieting down by then. But at 7 in the morning, they like to make a noise. And there's a bird moved in here recently. It's a currawong. And when he was going off mental earlier on, but he's quieting down now. If he starts again, you'll know.
Yes, I love it. Hamani says that the first this is with Harry Kane's situation. First he did a late tackle, then he kicked the lad as he went past him on the floor. Then he started on the lad who got sent off. Kane should have walked also.
He got boxed, didn't
he? Yeah, but Kane knew what he was doing, didn't he? He used his experience, didn't he, to get that player sent off.
Of course he
did. But it still didn't help him, did it?
Look, when you're in that situation and it's a bit feisty on a pitch, mate, the coach should always tell you, do not give that referee a decision to make.
That's
now,
right.
Decore gave him a decision to make straight away because he tapped him in the face. He tapped him, and both Kane's legs fell apart. Amazing.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be much of a boxer, would he? But that's what he done. And Decore would probably do this exactly the same if the roles were reversed. So
Ken went down like he'd been hit by Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing, really. But
it'd have been if it had been the other way down, Decore would have gone down like a sack of bricks. So that's it. He knows the game. He knows the rules. Hi, Charlie.
Hi, Charlie, mate. Hope you're doing well. Brother Chichy's having something to eat, and he's going to be joining us. Hi, Geezer. Charlie Boy. Charlie Boy, Amani and Titch. Who's going down? We'll discuss that when you come on the show.
No idea.
Everyone.
If Everton didn't go down to 10 men, they would have won. There were only one team looking like more likely to win that game.
On the other on the flip side, Charlie, if Tottenham hadn't gone down to 10 men, would Everton have scored?
But I think when Everton went down to 10 men, they lost the penalty. And really, that's usually teams finish. But they rallied after that, to be fair to Everton. You know, when you watch that last 15, 20 minutes, it looked like Tottenham were the ones with a missing player before Mora was sent off. They really did. But Tottenham at the back, I think they must have given it away 5-6 times from trying to bring it out of the back.
Yeah.
They done everything they could to let Everton back in the game. They're just horrendous. Well, they were terrible. No game management whatsoever from Tottenham.
No, awful.
So then Bournemouth got a 2-1 win against Fulham.
And that was shocker as well.
Yeah, that was.
I don't think it won, Mally. Bournemouth at home are a different animal, mate. I'm telling you. Have we got to play Bournemouth away?
No idea. Not a club.
Well, if we have, I predict we're going to lose that game right here and right now. Honestly, Bournemouth are a lot better at home than they are away from home, and they're fighting for every point. They're fighting for everything. And then obviously the big one for Leeds United. Right, Mally, I want you to check this one away. Arsenal 4, Leeds United 1.
I thought we played well for the first half hour. And after that, after the penalty, we fell apart. I don't think it was deliberate by Erling.
No.
But it was a penalty, you know. And after that, sort of the edge dropped. And Arsenal came into it. And Arsenal deserved the win. You know. There's not a lot more you can say.
You can tell they're at top of the league. You can tell that they're
We played well. First half hour we played well. But I didn't understand us not playing with a striker. I found that a bit confusing.
Well, I mean, go on, Mally. Sorry.
Bamford, Rodrigo, and Rutter were all on bench, and I didn't get that. But Garcia knows best.
Do you think he had one eye open up, on the Forest game tomorrow?
I'm sure he did. Irrespective of what he says, I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
I think he went into Arsenal. He went into Arsenal's game knowing they were going to get beat.
I think so.
It was a strange formation, but he played 5 at back, didn't he?
And I can understand it as well, Mally. I really can, because you know the Arsenal game isn't going to define your season. It isn't going to get you relegated if you lose. Forest, on the other hand, could do the difference. So yeah, I can understand him thinking that way, and and I said that last week. Forget the Arsenal game. You know, the chances of you getting anything out of that were very slim anyway. Even if you put your whole best team and went for it. So I think it's good management if he's targeting this Forest game, and as long as you can get the 3 points out of it.
Yeah, that's right. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, David, we still got Bournemouth to play, Dad.
Still got Bournemouth to play away?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. If Everton did it, I read that one. Sorry, Charlie boy. That last goal was a banner. Charlie boy was saying.
It was.
Yeah, it was a banger.
I see Brighton absolutely slapping Spurs at the weekend. I think you could be right, Amani.
If they play like that.
Yeah, they play like that, they will.
They were awful.
Absolutely awful.
Leandro Fedorski says, we are done. So many of our fan base feel that beating Arsenal is not our fight. Why do we think that playing Forest or Palace will be any easier than playing Arsenal? I think the difference is
Forest and Palace out at top of the table.
And also Forest and Palace are at home.
Ellen Road.
Yeah, that's the difference, isn't it? That's the big difference. I get what Bandy's saying about we should Arsenal we should take no game like that. Definitely not.
Are you playing Forest at home?
Yes.
Yeah, and but there you look at Forest. He'd probably got some of the worst away form in the league, haven't they?
Yeah.
So that's You know, so you've got to look at that game and say, right, we've got to take this. They're terrible away from home for us.
And then
So-
we've got Palace at home then.
Ooh. Jeez, wow. It gets better and better, doesn't it? Hey, 6 pointers every week, isn't there? Going up.
You hope so.
Wow.
You hope so. But you never know, do you?
Now, right, Man City versus Liverpool. I watched that game, watched it closely, and do you know something? Even though Arsenal's and we lost 4-1 and Liverpool lost 4-1, I thought Liverpool looked the worst team. I thought Man City humbled Liverpool, whereas Arsenal it wasn't that straightforward.
No, Man City tied with Liverpool, and not without Haaland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still scoring 4. Oh,
Yeah.
Mad, innit? Madness, absolute madness. And then we go into Sunday's games. West Ham first game on. It finished 1-0 Southampton. Kieran, take it away.
Good edit.
I think it's one of the worst games I've ever watched. Shoot. Oh, first 20 minutes, we were absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible. And, you know, probably a minute before we scored that goal, you could hear the sort of light boos going around the stadium because it was so bad. I was screaming at the telly. You know, 1 o'clock in the morning, going bonkers because how bad we were. How sideways, how backwards, how passing, losing the ball. Oh my word, it was bad. And we got the goal, got a bit better, and we had a few chances, but we hardly worked their keeper, hardly done anything. And we're just lucky that Southampton was poor as well, really poor. It was a horrible game to watch for any of the neutrals. Yeah. But again, now, as you know me, I'm all about, I want to enjoy watching West Ham. That's my thing. It isn't about finishing top 4 or top 6. It's about enjoying watching them. But at this stage of the season, it's about the 3 points now.
Oh, that's right.
And you just take it regardless of the performance. But it's just not very encouraging to see that kind of performance. And then we've got to play Newcastle midweek. And they were sensational against Man United. And you go, well, we've got to be better than that. You know, we really do.
Yeah.
But 3 points.
That's all. Yeah. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Who would have thought that Timo Kehrer would have been your free kick specialist? And they're glad getting his head on it.
Great header.
Yeah, well, on all the channels there, once Kehrer had been picked, everyone's sort of head went down a bit. Going, oh, wow, he's that right back. But he was probably one of our best players on the day. Yeah. He had a pretty decent game amongst a lot of average football, you know. But he had a decent game, Kehrer. His best game at right back for West Ham. And he put in a good delivery, and again was bang on. 3 minutes it took for that VAR to decide that goal.
It was tight, wasn't it? It was tight.
That's crazy. It was on.
It was on. But there was so.
But what are they doing here for 3 minutes, splitting hairs? You know, why should it take that long, man?
God knows.
It's just crazy.
I think it was his kneecap that were onside, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mad. There were so many bodies in that. There were so many bodies in that area.
Yeah, and there was about 3 others that were offside. It was just not him.
That's right. Yeah. You're 3 players offside, but not the scorer. So it was a good goal. They took it well.
Yeah, we'll take it.
And it's 3 points, isn't it, Kieran? That's what it's at this stage of the season. It's what it's all about now.
It was so massive that, you know, we could have been at the bottom of the table after that game. You know, it changes the atmosphere of everything, doesn't it? And like I said, against a better team, we would have lost that game. But they were pretty toothless, Southampton. But, you know, we gave them a chance. The boys hit the bar. They could have nicked a point, and that would have been disastrous. But we done it.
You hit the same crossbar, didn't you?
Yeah, and we hit the crossbar too, Bowen. Yeah. But like I said, it was such a hard game to watch. Honestly, it was so hard. But we'll take it, man. And it's all it counts. Like I said, when you play Forest midweek, you don't care how crap that game is, as long as you win it. It's we're at that stage now, aren't we? Every point is vital. every point. And I think most teams, especially like the Leeds, with the support you've got at home, I'll be looking at their home form to stay up. This is where it's going to be won and lost, isn't it? And Leeds are, with the crowd they've got behind them, and they're still going. I think, it's doubly important that you, especially when you're playing anyone down the bottom, you've got to win them. And I think the crowd will help you there, get you over the line.
I hope you're right, Kieran, mate. I hope you're right.
We can only hope.
And then speaking about the last game on Saturday with Newcastle and Man United, I thought Newcastle was sensational.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was good, man. They were good. Isaacs looks like he's going to be a star. And you go, well, no good.
They're good. I think they're going to closely push Man United for that fourth spot.
Yeah. Yeah, all the evidence looks that way, doesn't it? They just look good, man. Look sharp.
It really does. And even Gary Neville praised them at Newcastle. So you know what I mean. Yeah. I like what he has to say. I'll do like what Gary Neville has to say. He calls a spade a spade. Amani says that these games are very different. Away to top of the league versus home to two sides who are struggling.
Yeah,
that's a good point, Amani. We got lucky. We got lucky to get the win versus Southampton. Thank God.
Charlie, I know. I'm not joking. Every West Ham fan watching that had lost all their nails, mate. It was frightening. My word, it really was.
B&I Fanowski says it was a very inspiring press conference from Marjavi.
I think it was much alike to every other one that is give. It gives very little away.
Don't give out away, does it?
No, very calm. No, he's all right.
Charlie boy, I cannot see them winning more 1 or 2 for the rest of the season.
Oh come on, Harmony. We're fluke a couple. We're fluke a couple. Come on.
Well, I think she's on about Southampton.
I don't know what she's on about.
Right.
Do you think the Premiership is levelling out now to many average teams? Well, I don't know because Tottenham are in Champions League places and they've played really, really poor. So I don't know, Ian.
I think he might have a point, say, for the bottom 8, because they're all looking at much of a muchness at the moment. The bottom 8. It's a bit different over there when you've got the rise of Brighton and Newcastle. They're they're playing. They're probably overachieving, say, Brighton and Brentford for what they are, but playing really well. But the bottom 8 are much of a muchness.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think it's turning into a top 4, a middle 6, and a bottom 10 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Man, I think it is at the moment.
Brother Wally says, "Good evening, all."
All right, Wally.
Wait.
If it could go down to goal difference at the end of the season,
it could.
Yeah,
it could.
Possibly.
How many points are needed to stay up, do you think? Well, I think about 38, 39.
I'm saying about 36.
Yeah. I'm the same. I think 35, 36 would be enough. At this moment, that's what it looks like. You can't guarantee that.
Yeah, there's a lot of draws going on, isn't there?
So
the one thing I will say, though, is this is the most competitive relegation battle I've ever seen.
We're not in it yet, Stu. We're not there yet. There's still 20 odd points. Still 20 odd points to play for.
But we're in a relegation battle, aren't we?
No, absolutely.
No.
I think we are.
If you're in the bottom 3, you're in a relegation battle. That's for sure.
Nah.
Lots of mad results. Lots of mad results to come. Yeah, I look. Everybody's, Bournemouth are picking up points where you don't expect Bournemouth to pick up points. Crystal Palace have now got that one win, and it'll be all rosy for them again at training ground. Wallet, Amani, HCB. I was on about Spurs. His comment made there was only 3 messages before. Are you seeing how drunk?
You're not, well, not drunk, Harmony. It's too early for me to do that yet, but definitely senile. Definitely.
37. Andy thinks 37 points.
Mhm.
I know who you meant.
Right, Harmony. We got it wrong. You was
must have
talking
been
about
all-
us.
You must have been only one, Charlie.
Yeah,
Nobody else knew.
he's off.
And then today's fixture, guys, Everton versus Spurs. Finished 1-0. God,
That was terrible. That was terrible.
I think Leeds are lucky that Everton dropped 2 points.
Yeah. I hope Spurs play like that against us.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Do you know what it reminded me of, Mally? When Arteta took over Arsenal, and he was, everything was about playing out of the back, and they kept conceding goal after goal after goal until they got it right. And that's exactly what Spurs were doing tonight. They were just giving the ball like non-stop from the back.
Awful.
They were awful at it. But, obviously this manager believes he's going to do an Arteta and make it come good at some stage. But it was absolutely awful. Well, there you go. Go, Titch.
Evening, gentlemen and lady. Lady Harmony.
How are you?
Doing? I'm good, thanks.
You're all right. Good.
How are you lot?
Yeah, we're all right.
Sweet. Put the kettle on.
All
Still
good.
fighting,
Charlie
still
boy,
fighting the fight.
when you it's what happens when you set pensioners free on the interweb.
Hey, less of it, missus.
Charlie
Just
boy,
because we're not mind readers.
Wally. Walito. Uncle Wally.
I knew she were on about Spurs.
Yeah. I ain't a clue. Once she gets into gear, I ain't a clue what she's talking about half the time.
So who's going down?
No idea, mate.
Well, this is hang on a minute. Right, I'll show you at bottom.
Has Titch give you his 3, Stuart?
No, not yet.
what?
Share screen.
Who you think's going to go down? We've all give Stuart a list of who we think's going to go down. Three.
Yeah, I'm glad you've done that. I was going to look at my phone. It's hard, man. I'm going to say Forest. No particular order. Forest.
You got your pen and paper, Stuart?
I'll remember this.
Okay.
Go for it, Nat.
I'm going to say Southampton.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say Leicester. Yeah, it's hard. Like that, I could be completely wrong, but I'm going to say Forest, Leicester, and Southampton.
Yeah.
I'm looking at form. Forest had a decent start coming up and all of that, but they're slowly declining. Leicester's obviously in free fall, and Southampton, they can go to Chelsea and win. But then when it matters against like West Ham, they ended up losing that game, and they're still bottom, and they've played 2 games more than West Ham. So just looking at form and whatnot, and realistically, I'm thinking, but it could be a different 3. It could easily be a different 3. So I'm going to go with those.
Look at that. When we beat Forest tomorrow night and West Ham get a point at Newcastle, we can go up to 12th.
The lofty heights of 12.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy.
Everyone there would bite your hand off to finish 12th, which is, for the likes of Everton, West Ham, Leeds, Leicester of recent history. That's terrible. 12th would be like winning the league.
I tell you what, I'd be worried if I were Everton. With the 29 games.
Yeah.
I thought as soon as they signed Daesh, I thought, you know what, they're going to stay up. And even tonight, sort of, it shows that, you know, he's got that fight in him, and he will find, and he's got experience at the bottom of the league as well. So I that's why I didn't even think about Everton just now when I was speaking. I don't think they're going to go down with Sean Dyche in charge.
Right.
See, poor old Chelsea in 11th still haven't got to 40 points yet, and they've played 28 games.
Yeah.
Chelsea. Yeah.
But if you look at the top of the table, I don't know how, but Tottenham is still 4th.
Yeah.
Oh, look, 50 points, all of them.
Yeah, Man U have got, look at Brighton. Brighton have got 3 games over Spurs.
7 points, yeah. And they've got to play each other. They haven't they?
Don't know, mate.
Is that this week? I thought I heard you say that, Stu, earlier on in the stream.
Fixtures. So these are fixtures for tomorrow. You've got Bournemouth v Brighton, Leeds versus Forest, Leicester versus Aston Villa, Chelsea versus Liverpool, Man United versus Brentford on Friday, Wednesday. West Ham versus Newcastle. That's also on Wednesday, and then Saturday, Bournemouth, Spurs and Brighton.
Yeah,
Spurs and Brighton, Wolves and Chelsea, Leicester and Bournemouth, Fulham and West Ham. When do we play then? We play Sunday.
Sunday, it's on Sky Sports. So yeah, it's 2:00 kickoff.
Could be a good weekend coming up. Looking at them, could be a good weekend for us.
Mate, we've got to win these 2. We've got to win us 2 games, though, haven't we?
Yeah.
You know, we win us 2 games, and all of a sudden it looks rosy again. Winning 1 game and out of the 2, we've seen what happened last time.
But at this stage of the season, guys, that's not a bad 2 games to have coming up, is it?
No.
Forest and Palace. I mean, that could save your ass just winning them 2 games.
Who do West Ham play at weekend?
Fulham.
Fulham away. Is Mitrovic back Is Mitrovic back then, or what? Do we know?
No, I don't think so.
No, he's not back. So, I think there's every chance we can go there and beat them. But not if we play like we did at the weekend. You can't beat anyone like that. Away from home. But, yeah. And this next couple of games, especially for Leeds, I mean, that's 2 good games to win against people down the bottom. Palace and Forest. You could win both of them. Wow. You'd be on a start up then, wouldn't you?
You would think so. But nothing's a given, is it?
Yeah.
I have been waiting for over 50 years for Everton to go down, and now I might have to wait even longer.
He's right, Bandy, so have I. They should have gone a few times, and they haven't. And he's right, they've survived. I remember one year they survived, and I'm sure people were paid to let them win.
Are they in a FFP scrap, Everton?
Yeah. Yeah, but it don't come into play till next season, does it? What punishment they're going to get? And apparently it's possibly going to be a fine and not point deduction.
Okay.
Manny says that table will look a lot brighter on Wednesday night after Forest, Leicester and Bournemouth all lose. And the West Ham all lose.
Hope so.
Yeah. We're at home to Newcastle. A draw would be...
That's going to be a big one. That's going to be hard, is that, Titch?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've not got much to hope for that. But...
I still think this is going to go down to Leeds v West Ham v Leeds at London Stadium,
I hope not.
I do. I really do. I think it's going to go that far.
That's our second to last game, isn't it?
Yeah. It's before the Spurs game.
Yeah, it should be sealed by then.
Our very last game is Leicester. I hope it doesn't come down to that.
I think ours is Spurs, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got Spurs at Ellen Road. If they play like they did tonight, it'll be all right. I hope it don't come to do with it. I can't do with another season of last game syndrome. I can't go through with that again. I won't watch it. I won't watch it. I'll have a heart attack.
What? Yesterday I was thinking, after West Ham won, I think realistically, West Ham, we've got 11 games. I think we need 3 wins and maybe 2 draws. What do you lot think your team needs, like, points-wise, to stay up?
How many are we
I
on? I
reckon
don't know.
about 30, I reckon about 37, 38.
That would give us 38 points. 3 wins and 2 draws out of 11. So we could afford to lose 6.
So we'll
probably lose more than that.
We'll be about the same, won't we?
Mm.
And if we can get us 2 wins this week, it'll look a bit healthier. But it's all ifs and buts, isn't it? There's no givens in this league.
Well, we still don't know for definite if Berber's and Nonto's going to be back for tomorrow's game. Philly says that there's a chance, but he can't say for definite.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I don't know. It's when we played against Arsenal, you could see that we were badly missing Verba. I think I'd sooner miss Verba than miss Monto, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Oh, it's quality. It's quality. We'll see. Come tomorrow night. We'll see.
Charlie Boy says I'd be happy with a point, but I'm not expecting much versus Newcastle. They look good against Man United.
A point would be great against Newcastle.
No, what we don't want is to get slapped by them, because we've got the best goal difference of everyone down at the bottom. So we don't want to start, making a big dent in that either.
No,
we don't want to lose any games 3-4-0. We want to keep that advantage, so that even that is worth a point, isn't it? At the end of the day, your goal difference. So if we play like we did against Southampton, against Newcastle, we could be in serious trouble. I'm hoping that won't be the case, but that's hope.
Right, guys, and West Ham fans as well. If Leeds lose one of these 2 games against Forest and Crystal Palace, does that put us in immediate danger?
Yeah.
If we lose one of them games,
and win one?
Yeah.
You can't afford to lose both. Against people down there, you can't afford to lose both them games. You would be in serious trouble. Because it's 2 sides of that coin, isn't it? You win both, mate, you're looking more or less safe. You lose both, you're right in it.
I think minimum 4 points out of these 2 games.
Yeah, 4 points minimum now.
If we lose, I think if we lose 1, it's not the end of the world. There's still enough games.
You'd rather lose to Palace and beat Forest. If it was 1 win 1 lose 1.
Obviously, if you lose a game, it just makes it harder. Obviously.
Yeah, you're right there, Tish, because that's how I believe Palace won't have a problem staying up.
No.
So if you're going to lose, if you keep Forest down there, I think they're one of the favourites. They're one of the favourites to go down with Southampton, and then you toss a coin for whoever else goes with them. Yeah. But I'd rather keep Forest down there.
Is that away for Leeds or home? Okay, that's good.
Both of them.
Yeah, Kieran, did you know that West Ham and Forest, I believe, we're the worst away team. We've got 6 points all season. I think it's Forest with us. We are the worst.
I think Forest. Definitely Forest. I thought they were worse than us.
And us. No, the exact same. 6 points.
Not good.
If Leeds wanted to play anybody at this stage of the season at home, it would be Forest or West Ham, and Forest are in worse form than West Ham. So this is probably the best game you can play is against Forest. Yeah,
I think it's perfect, to get yourselves out of it. These 2 games are perfect for you. Like I say, a win against Forest, a draw against Palace. I think Leeds are flying. They only need to stick 2 more wins on the board, and it's all over. They're safe.
It's finding them 2 wins, Kieran.
Yeah, I know, but I think your home form, your home crowd is where you stay up. I think you've got it better than anyone. Like I said, we had our crowd at a 0-0 booing after 20 minutes. Our crowd, our heads are down, really down because of Moyes. And and when you see really bad performances, it goes through the stadium. It just does. Everyone comes down. and you can feel the tension in the air. When I watch Leeds on the telly, all I can hear is they're up for it. All the supporters there are still backing Leeds and still backing the team. Still, they're backing the new manager. They believe. We're like that. Oh God, it's Moyes again. And as soon as the teams are announced, our heads go down because you just know how he's setting up. I mean, he put Danny Ings up there on his own for that game. My God, the boy ran around like a blue-ass fly, but pointless. He was absolutely isolated and couldn't do a thing. Yeah, and we knew that was coming when he sticks Ings up there on his own. It's absolutely crazy. But Moyes keeps doing it. So
I think
our crowd isn't where it should be at the moment, where Leeds are.
I think our players are still playing for each other as well.
Yeah, well,
we don't give up.
No, they're good to watch Leeds at times. And say for half an hour there, I thought they gave Arsenal a real good game.
Yeah, they done well.
And they broke with pace as well. That's something else we lack. And they were trying to be, on front foot. So fair play to them. They gave them a game.
I'm just going to get through some of these comments. West Ham away will definitely be harder than Spurs at home on last day of season. We could be down before the Spurs game.
No.
If we play Southampton 11 more times, we're staying up.
That's for sure.
Moyes will park the bus for Newcastle. We may grab a point. Well, a point will be massive. It will be.
It will be.
It's a dangerous ploy, is that?
That's his only ploy.
It's his only play, yeah. He does that even if he's playing the worst team in the world. You know what I mean? But for Southampton, it was embarrassing that first half hour, wasn't it? It's embarrassing.
Good afternoon. Good evening, Inky. Hope you're doing well, mate. The next two, Forest and Palace, then Bournemouth and Leicester, will definitely will define, I believe. We're all four, and that's us on 38 points, excluding other games.
Is that our next 4 games? I know Forest and Palace.
That's not bad though. Bournemouth and Leicester.
Is it Bournemouth and Leicester after Forest and Palace?
No, after Forest. No.
I think that's just the 4 bottom teams you've got, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, we've got Liverpool at home after the Leeds.
I'll tell you what, you wouldn't bet against Leeds against Liverpool at home.
Yeah,
Leeds at home. Every chance of getting something out of that game.
Yeah.
The way Liverpool are at the moment, could easily get a point out of that.
They're all over, aren't they?
All over the place.
We should have got something out of the Emirates. I'm not sure, Bandy. I'm not sure, mate.
No, I don't think so.
West Ham are the only team in the Premier League not to score in the first 15 minutes of a game this season.
That's because we don't start playing till the 25th.
Or until we go behind, and then we look better once we go behind. Slightly better anyway. Always.
The Hammers are not as bad as you think.
No, we're worse.
Moyes was even scared to press for Southampton.
He was Charlie boy, right?
It looks like West Ham seem to start on back foot, don't they? Suss the opponent out before they start going forward.
That's what he does. Keep it tight, and hope we don't go. We don't go 1-0 behind. That's Moyes. It's for supporters now. I think they've all had enough of watching it.
Because you've got the pace. You've got the pace on break, haven't you?
Not really.
Not really.
No.
Not genuine pace.
Well, I think Bowen. I think Bowen's quite quick.
Bowen's a bit nippy. He can be, but that's about it. There's no real fast players in that team.
Matt Antonio. What do you call
them? Rama platters to the seas.
Would you say Antonio fast?
No.
He's lost his pace, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah, he has got a spurt over 4 or 5 yards, but you wouldn't say he's rapid.
Right.
Yeah, we're not.
Guys, what you will have seen the images of Skamaka leaving London Stadium before the game kicked off. Now, it depends on who you're watching, it depends on who you listen to, and it depends on what narrative they've got. Was it unusual for Skamaka to leave the stadium before game kicked off?
Not if you believe what they were saying, Stu. I reckon he was going for treatment. He had to go to do this treatment on his, what, he got a hip or a knee?
Yeah,
What did Moy say? A grumbly knee or grumbly hip? So he was off to get treatment.
That's what I believe, but you know, I've heard so many different YouTube channels. Saying,
well, they all like to put 2 and 2 together without any evidence, don't they? And come up with 5. But apparently, he was off for a treatment. And that was it.
That's what I heard, Kieran. Anyway, and I've got no reason to disbelieve them coming out with that. I mean, even fist pumped one staff at London Stadium on his way out, so it wasn't like he were upset or angry, you know.
No, none of that. No, none of that. It's nonsense. Absolute nonsense. But you know, but that doesn't mean he's happy there, because I'm sure he's not.
Yeah.
But even Ings, if you watched Ings getting substituted at the weekend, mate, he weren't happy. I read his lips what he was saying as he went to the dugout. It weren't good. He weren't pleased at all.
You know what?
But like you said, Kieran, if he's running around like an headless chicken, not being able to get involved in game, it's pointless having him on pitch.
It was. And again with Souček was absolutely awful. Awful. I saw him 3 times pass that ball from 8 yards straight out of play.
Yeah, off the pitch.
He was awful. But it will start every game.
Do you know what I was thinking? I think it was today, actually. I think in Moyes' mind, and especially when it comes to press conferences and whatnot, I think because it's so tight and because of the goal difference, I think he's going to try and justify being cautious, because even if it's after the fact, after the season's done, you know, he might be like, you know, the way the league was going, the way the season was going, we knew that, you know, goal difference would basically be a point. And that justifies his approach, even though we all know, you know, he's always going to have that approach. But I think now that's strengthening his belief in that approach.
It does. It does, because what all he'll do is every bloody press conference he does, he mentions how good we've been for the last 2 years, all this nonsense. And then he'll justify it by, you know, the games we had to win.
Yeah.
We had to win was Everton. We won it.
Forest.
Was Nottingham Forest, we won it, and Southampton, we won it.
Yeah.
You know, all 3 games at home against relegation rivals, and he got over the line. Even with bad performances, he got over the line. So that he'll justify it. He's doing the right thing and carry on doing it.
Mally, B and Ivanovsky reckons that Liverpool will think that they owe us.
I don't know what it means by that.
Well,
you beat them, number 2-1.
Because we beat them at their ground.
Yeah.
So he thinks that Liverpool will want to beat us.
Yes.
Payback.
Of course,
I think they'll want to beat us anyway.
No, but I think
previous.
Yeah, I think he's saying because of that 2-1 in injury time as well, wasn't it? Or stoppage time, sorry. That will be.
I think that'll be a big mistake if they start thinking like that.
Good evening, Luke. What are your feelings on Kera?
Oh, at the beginning, I thought he looked really good, and then he was awful for quite a while. And like I said, at the weekend, he had a good game. So I think there is a player there. We've just not seen the best of it yet. I can say that about quite a few of them.
Well, he lost his place in Germany team, didn't he? In World Cup, international break, what they had. He didn't get picked for Germany, did he?
Kieran's right. There has to be a player in there. He was, a regular in the Germany squad. He was playing quite often. It could be the Premier League, and he knocks his confidence, and now he's got self-doubt. I don't know, because some of the stuff he does is like woeful, but he's got a bit of pace about him. He's normally decent on the ball as well. So I don't know. He might just be going through a phase where he needs to get past that, and we can see the best of him. Which, yeah, he was decent against Southampton the other day.
Is it his first season?
Yeah. And he came from PSG and not a starter for PSG either. So he's not like, he was never a regular at PSG.
Right.
Do you think he could just need a bit of time just to get used to pace at Premier League? Some players do. Some players take a full season.
Yeah. Also, he would not have foreseen the West Ham predicament. So if you put him in a team that's flying, you'll see, he'll look even better. It's like Trent Alexander-Arnold, for instance. Now that Liverpool are not nowhere near their best, people are basically, ex-pros and people like us, we can clearly see how bad he is at defending. But whilst your team's on the front foot and your team's doing, all of the attacking, that went unnoticed because Trent didn't really have a lot of, you understand? Yeah. So it just depends on what team you're playing in, what system, and that can work for any position. And I think for Kerr, West Ham being so bad this season, the spotlight's on him because he is a new player playing in the back line.
It reminds me a bit of Paqueta. You put Paqueta in Man City or Arsenal, he'd have all the flicks and tricks like a Brazilian should have.
Yeah, I saw at some point on Sunday, he had the most tackles. He was on 11, and the next best was like 5 maybe. So, and then you see him, even when he first came, I didn't know a lot about him. Just read him, and they say, look, the experts, especially Brazilian footwear, they say, listen, this guy will lose the ball on the edge of your box because of what he does. And when he done a little back heel near the touchline, and it came off. And so sometimes his skills is like, you can see, he's got that class. But there's other times where I look at him, I'm thinking, what are you really bringing to this team once again in this predicament? Do you understand? So he's a player that if your team's flying, we know. Look, if he's put him in a team that's set up for his skill set, he would be a phenomenal player, clearly, because he is Brazil's, he's a starting player in that team. But once again, just like Kerr for West Ham is not what we've been accustomed to in the last couple of seasons. So, he's not the player. You put him in a better team and straight away you'd see a better player.
Talking about Brazil, will Richarlison in squad tonight?
No, I think he's injured or sick. I think injured.
I think.
Right.
That's why I was asking. I can't understand how he's keeping Soufal out.
He's injured. Soufal's injured.
Yeah.
But because and that's another thing. Soufal was woeful. He was phenomenal when he first came. Then he was woeful, and now he's actually getting back to somewhat his best. So players obviously can go through bad periods, and Soufal definitely had that.
Charlie and his magic hat. He got an assist at v Saints, didn't he? Is that that's Vieira, yeah. So that free kick, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a good ball.
He did.
Well.
So he had a good game.
Yeah.
Yes, he put a nice run in in the set piece. Yeah, but a good goal what he scored. I remember it was a good header from Maguire and all.
Were you nervous, Kieran, with the VAR?
I saw when I first saw it, I thought, no, he's on. I could see that our defender is like Melly said, his knee was in front of him. So I didn't have a problem, and I went, no, we'll be right. I weren't that bothered. But then he went on and on. And it was about 3.5 minutes before they made a decision. I was going, what are they looking at? What are they trying to find not to give this goal? Crazy.
And them are the sort of moments that you look back on and you're just about to stay up. Everton tonight, maybe that I know somebody said it already earlier. Maybe that point, I think it's Mali. Maybe that point keeps them up. You just don't know. Do you understand? So
no, it was massive. Yeah. That's why I think Tottenham are so shit, right? They get him sent off, they get a penalty, no doubt about the penalty, and now you've got to manage the game. against
back.
10 men.
Yeah,
And they were all over the place. They invited Everton on, which is a stupid thing to do, right, against 10 men. You controlled the game, and they couldn't. They couldn't pass it out of defence. They couldn't. They lost the ball every time they came out. They've been better off at that stage just booting it long, keeping it away from their own goal.
I thought Spurs did control it for a small period.
Not once they went up.
But every time they come out the back, Mally, they lost it. They lost the ball to them.
Yeah.
I mean, they might have been better off just hoofball for that, 15 minutes or so. Just keep it away from your own goal. And put your three forwards up front to try and compete for the ball, because they could not bring it out of the back, and they just kept coming back and back. And it looked like, the other way around, that they were down to 10 men, and it just, you could see it coming. The goal, you could see it coming. He said, you even thought they could have won it.
Yeah, Everton were pressing, weren't they? They were pressing really.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they couldn't beat the press, Tottenham. They weren't good enough to beat the press. So boot it. Just get rid of it long.
And the thing is, Kieran's bang on there, because you've got to think, Everton were pressing, right? If they're pressing hard and they've got a player less, that booting the ball, you should have you should be outnumber them somewhere along the pitch, because they are actually committing to the press. So you catch them out, you bypass that, and you should have an extra player somewhere up front or up top. You understand? Because of it's going long. But you didn't change your tactics according to minute by minute in a game, and those tactics, go long.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
Well, me and Lee were downstairs watching game, and me on top screen, and I were watching Tottenham watch along, and basically, Lee, I was frustrated with they getting on that watch along.
I bet they were. It was terrible.
They were effing and jeffing and cursing and swearing, and it wasn't for numbers, because they've already got numbers. But you could see they were getting more and more frustrated and they were calling out Lloris being captain. Why, he's the one who when they were knocking it about at back, and Lloris played it to I think it was. Oh, go on, Stuart. Romeo, inside box, and Romeo went his back toward. He was facing his own goal, so and they were getting more and more frustrated. Even they could see it were coming, So even they said that Everton played better. Tottenham did deserve to go in mid lead. Didn't deserve to take the lead. It were all Everton. 100% Everton. It were a good for opening 15-20 minutes. It were an even game, but then Everton just turned screw. They used that home crowd, that what they've got, and took it to their advantage.
Yeah, Stuart, can I ask you what you think of Meslier's antics?
Yeah, I think he needs to learn. He needs to learn. Don't be so rash when coming out of his box. Only come out of his box when it's absolutely necessary. Because for past 2 or 3 games now, Mally, well, even more. How many times has he come out of his box and just either give a goal away, like that Johnny volley on halfway line, or that lob where
Luke Ayling got it cleared it off at line.
Yeah,
I've no against him being a sweeper keeper, but boot the ball or head the ball out of play. Don't give it back to him.
See, when you're running the pace what Meslier runs at, and it does a diving header, he can't get back in time.
No,
he can't get back.
So I'm all for him coming out and clearing it. It's just, I'd rather him boot it into Rose head. Get it out of play. But giving it back to opposition, that's two games on bounce he's done that. I know, and twice almost got punished.
I agree.
I find it frustrating.
Has he had his head turned?
What's that?
Has he had his head turned? Because he knows that other clubs are looking at him.
No idea. He ain't done himself any favours.
No, I know. Maybe it's pressure, Molly. I don't know, or stupidity. I don't know what it is. Don't know what it is.
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
It's not. I mean, it's not like he's coming out of his box for a corner and flapping. He's running.
Yeah.
He's running 20, 30 yards.
Yeah, I don't know if any of Ahmad's lads saw him. You know what they thought if their keeper did that.
I don't know about that incident. I was watching the game, but I was doing stuff. But I haven't been totally convinced with Meslier. I know he's still young, but he does do things for me that are kind of rash and things that I think.
He's a great one-on-one stopper.
Yeah.
But rest of his games, I think it's quite poor.
Yeah,
his distribution isn't very good.
I don't put him up there. Like, I don't see him being France's number one for like 5 or 6, 7 year period. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I can't. Yeah, I don't see it. He is young.
He's too young.
He's got experience. So some of the stuff I see him do, I think, he would worry me. And also, whilst we're speaking of goalkeepers, I've always been a fan of Fabianski. And I know everybody thought, you know, Areola comes in, but that save that he pulled off against Southampton, great save. And I've got to give Moyes credit where credit is due, is that, you know, the pressure is on him from everybody, or majority of people put Areola in. You know, he's the big shiny new thing, and obviously Fabianski's like 37. He came in whilst Fabianski was injured, and at the soonest opportunity, Moyes put him back in, and I'm happy for Fabianski, and I think he needs a lot of credit for that save, because if they would have scored straight after we scored, they will go on to win that game, because, you know, we've acknowledged we were poor, and thankfully we got a win. So Fabianski, man, he justified. I think Moyes has clearly got faith in him, because Areola is another one that I'm not totally convinced by him. Like, I think a lot of people, you know, they Areola, but there's something for me that I'm not fully sold on him. That doesn't mean he's not a good goalie, but I'm not fully sold. So yeah, that for Moyes is, I respect that he sticks to his guns with Fabianski, and I think that's because he believes at this moment in time he's the best option for West Ham.
Well, that's fair enough. Yeah.
Great save. Great save.
Yeah.
And this is what you get people, they hang their hat on a player, don't they? And they stick with it, whatever. And a lot of people hang their hat on Areola this, Areola that, and then forget how good at Fabianski's been. What he doesn't have is quick distribution. But someone said it on a stream I watched the other day. They didn't believe that Moyes wants quick distribution. And I think they're right. I don't think he wants it. I think he wants him to hold the ball, slow the game down, usually take the momentum away from the other team. I think Moyes is happy with that. He doesn't want Areola grabbing the ball, throwing it out wide. And he wants to slow the bloody game down all the time. You know, Moyes is famous for it. So he wants his keeper to do that. He wants to slow it down, keep it, stop the momentum from the other team. And Fabianski is good at that, because he's not very good at his distribution. He's definitely not quick at it. He likes to run to the edge of the area and stop, and that's it. Where Areola is looking more so on the front foot. So it begs you a question. You know, does Moyes even want him to go quick? I don't think he does. Great save by Fabianski. That saved our asses, that save.
Yeah, really did. Save.
We'll catch up with these comments in a minute, everybody. I just didn't want to disturb people while we're in free flow. Aguerd is hammer of the year for Charlie.
At the moment, it's up there.
I am just fishing for a defender in game week 34, Stu. FPL. I'm a big fan of Aguerd. I think he's coming into his own now. Spurs had zero control of the ball all game, in the centre of the pitch all match. I have to agree with her. I think it was a good game, a good opening 20 minutes of football, but then just Everton turned screw. Have no fear about Prince Meslier of Lorient. And then Amani says Clarkson is a better keeper.
Is he on your books?
Yeah.
He's Clarkson ahead of Robles,
I think Robles is a better keeper than Meslier, personally. But everybody's got different opinions, haven't they? You know.
I think the problem is now with it getting down to itchy, squeaky bum time. I don't think no manager would experiment with the keeper anyway. I think if they're settled with that keeper and if he's settled with him most season, or especially like West Ham with the Fabianski, it's been your keeper most of the season. I think it's what Kieran says. You know, these players at West Ham are told how to play. They're told how Moyes wants them to play. Some players can cope with it and some players can't. A bit like Paqueta, he'd love it if it were a bit faster, a bit quicker. He'd love it, you know. Him and Schumacher, I thought they had a really good understanding when they played together. She gave me 20-32. Stop messing about, man. Prince Wesley is a class act.
He's a good shot stopper. That's it. He's a good one-on-one, but that's about it.
So what you're saying then, Mally, and I'm hoping I'm not saying with Page issue. If we lost him in summer, I wouldn't be too concerned.
No, I won't be. No,
I don't. I would be concerned if we lost him in summer.
I were more concerned, as daft as it sounds, I were more concerned when we lost Casper Schmeichel.
Yeah.
Because I thought he was brilliant when we had him. But for whatever reason, they sold him.
Well, in that when we brought in Kiko Casilla.
Could be. Yeah, it could be.
And he were just...
Is Leeds on Sky or not tomorrow?
Yeah, Leeds tomorrow.
It's on it's on Super Sport Variety 3 or BN Sport.
Yeah, it's
BN
still
Sport
TV
3.
Liverpool tomorrow.
Oh,
if you've got access to it.
Yeah, I do now. Not yeah, I don't know what, but yeah, I can actually watch it. I didn't know whether it was on Sky or not.
It's not on
Chelsea
Sky.
v Liverpool on Sky Sports. You're on Sky Sports on Wednesday, though, against Newcastle.
Yeah.
Good.
Let's get a point, please.
Unfortunately.
Amani says that she has watched Clarkson since she was 8. He was a striker and became a keeper at 11. He trained at Bromma in Stockholm, absolute quality.
Yeah. We do the opposite. We've got strikers and turn them into defensive midfielders.
You got wingers who you turn into strikers. Maybe West Ham could do with employing a man. Mind you, we all could do with employing a man as a scout. But yeah, you know, what the Chelsea could do with a decent scout would save them a few quid. No, that has cost them a fair few quid this last week. Have you heard what they're on about doing with that Nagelsmann?
What?
Because he's a free agent. They're on about paying him £15 million signing on fee to get him to Chelsea.
More money than sense.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man.
That's why he's now the new favourite to take over Chelsea for. He was the favourite to take over Tottenham money, but now that Chelsea says we'll give you £15 million signing on fee.
You know why they would do that though? Because I heard Mally before I came on speaking about Potter's being sacked. You only get the money whilst you're out of work.
Yeah.
So like Nagelsmann, whatever is, they know that maybe that's what his payout from Bayern is. So let's just pay him that as an upfront thing, and then you understand what I'm saying to you? That's probably why they have to do something like that. Otherwise, Bayern have to keep paying him whilst he's out of work because they sacked him.
Well, that's why none of these top managers are in any major rush to come back into game again because they're getting paid by the previous clubs. I know Pochettino's getting paid a monthly salary by PSG.
Yeah.
So if Potter went to Leicester, would Leicester have to pay Chelsea?
No, Chelsea wouldn't have to pay Potter the 20 mil or whatever. That is based off of him not working until his 4-year contract would have expired. If he finds
You
a
don't
job
get
in
a
that
lump,
time,
you don't get a lump sum. They pay it in it. They pay it each month until you're out of work, until you find work.
yeah.
I know he'd agreed to a reduced payment, but I didn't know it stopped if he got a job.
Yeah, there is that option as well. They can deal with the manager. I think they might have done that with Brendan Rodgers. Give him, something to leave. When they say that mutual agreement, they might agree to fee rather than a weekly wage for the next 4 years or whatever he's got. They might only give him half of that in a lump sum, and then call it a mutual agreement, and he walks away.
So then he don't lose any money if he gets another job.
Nah, not under those circumstances. He
He squids in then, isn't he? He squids in if he gets another job quickly. If he takes a lump.
I've been saying this for a long time, and I want to hear you lot's thoughts. I think every club at every level should have certain stipulations. So, for instance, if Chelsea, if let's say that, I don't know, you'd have to be quite thorough with it, but let's say that, like, for instance, Potter, before he signs, if they say, look, by this point of the season, if you haven't got this, blah, 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 we can sack you without any compensation, so that they could just get rid of all of that nonsense. You understand? And if the manager don't want to sign, that means your ambitions can't match his, or he's not confident in his ability. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So if you go into Chelsea and you're Graham Potter, they should have a list of things that at certain stages of the season, you should have, you should be in a position or better than. If not, we can sack you without any payout. Now, a manager decides, do I want to sign this or not? If you don't want to sign that, Potter, then you're not showing them any belief in yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So I think that's what they should do to alleviate all of the compensation and all of this.
Well, they have a release clause in player contracts. Why not have an escape clause in manager contracts?
Yeah, they need to do something, I think, because it's.
Do you not think though it depends on the club and on the manager? Like I said, if you'd put anything in a contract, say to get Pep, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
He's got the upper hand. See, with Potter, he would have been grateful to be offered such a big job, and he probably would have signed anything, whatever it was. But it is what it is with him, isn't it?
I think it worked out at £12 million a month. Sorry, £12 million a year for 5 years. That was his contract at Chelsea.
Potter.
Yeah.
Wow.
They signed him up for to get him out of Brighton. They offered him a 5-year deal at £12 million a year.
I think they're to pay Brighton 20 million to release him.
As compensation.
Wow.
So it's been a tier season for Chelsea.
If Chelsea don't get stung by FFP, there's something wrong.
That's why I said, like Mudryk 8-year contracts. That player, like Mudryk, they've given him an 8-year playing contract.
That's because his value depreciates over 8 years.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I mentioned last week, Stu. Why it's worth a debate about every year. If you could put it in place that no team is allowed to sack their manager to the end of the season, right? You've got to give them that season. Whoever you start with, you finish with for that season. How different would the league look now if that would have been the case? If Lampard was still there, if Gerrard was still there, Potter was still at Brighton. Wow, the league would look totally different. Hodgson's not at Palace. Vieira is. Brendan Rodgers. Mate, we've had, 11 managers sacked?
12.
That is
12. 12,
yeah.
12?
13,
12.
yeah.
That's madness, man.
Yeah.
You have to stick with the manager for the year. Well, we have. We're good at that.
Yeah. Follow out. Follow what we do.
That's the only reason you're saying it, Kieran.
No, he has said it. He has said it a long time ago, though. I remember him saying that.
Yeah.
Well, I think I know where Kieran's coming from. Unless it's what's the word? Extenuating circumstances where they can get out of the contracts, like ill health or something. I know what Kieran's saying. You should be told that you've got to stick with manager for at least a year.
It would just create a different dynamic in that league, and when you started that season, wouldn't it? And who you pick for a manager, you better get it right, because you better get it right.
You signed for 12 months, and nobody can get out of it.
Yeah, it's just that. you got to right at the end of the season. You're not happy with him, you can dump him, not a problem. But you've got to give him that season. You look at bloody Southampton this year. They're on their third manager, aren't they?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, they're on their third, trying to find an answer. But no, wherever you start with, you stick with. That's it. Just like us. And but I just thought it would be so interesting now. Lampard, was throwing them into the abyss. Gerrard was, with Villa. Since Emery went to Villa, Villa would have been down there with us if it weren't for the fact that Emery hadn't turned up. Yeah. So Lampard with Everton, I think Dyche will probably get him out of it. But Lampard weren't going to. So we could feel a lot safer now if they'd all stuck with their managers. But then again, I'm not so sure about yours.
Yeah,
but he might have done that.
We might have been down there.
Yeah, that's true.
Wolves would be worse off than they are now. Leeds would be worse off. Everton, Southampton can't get any worse.
Nah. Villa.
Villa would have been down there.
Yeah. Right.
Would Bournemouth still have had Eddie out? Or
Nah, he was out of work for ages. They had who was there at the start before Gary O'Neill? Oh, Scott Parker.
Scott Parker.
He got sacked twice this season.
What, he at Fulham?
Nah, before. He's at Bournemouth and then Bruges, and then got sacked by them.
Right.
So sacked twice in the season,
But right? We're all pulling down Southampton for being how poor they are. This time, Tottenham leading 3-1 and throwing game 3-0.
Against Southampton.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow. Hiya, brother. I'm ahead up. You're doing well, brother. Kieran, Stephen, Mally, Lee.
How are you?
Broski, how are you?
Broski, how you doing?
The first time I saw Prince Wesley, I laughed my head off, but he is great. I like that idea, Titch.
Oh yeah, I think it makes sense, especially for the teams that are almost anticipating a relegation scrap. Like, save yourself some money, because that's the whole point of them changing manager, is the fear of losing that money. So why not put something in place that protects you somewhat against losing even more money with the managers you have? Like, for instance, what was Nathan Jones that came to Southampton? You should have put something in that contract, because look, you got rid of him, so now you're paying him. They sacked Hassan Hutul, you're paying him, and if they don't get into any work, or even if it takes them a long time, you're paying them as well as the current manager, as well as you might get relegated. So everything you fear what relegation brings, why not do something, be proactive when it comes to the managers you're hiring?
Because it makes too much sense, Titch. That's why. They don't do things simple ways, do they?
If I was Potter, I'd have a 4-year holiday. That's why managers like Pochettino and stuff aren't in any major rush to get back to work, because they've got an income coming in.
And
they can wait. They can be picky and choosy. They can be picky. It was 30. It was 13.
13 managers.
If we had to keep Jesse Marsh, we'd be still on 19 points. If Forest lose badly to Leeds tomorrow, Steve Cooper's job could be on the line.
No.
Well, I will say that with Michael saying that, it could be, but like Leeds with Bielsa, all the Forest fans are really behind him, Steve Cooper. They love him. They don't want him to go. They're happy to get relegated and stick with him. Because I watched a Nottingham Forest podcast last week, and all the comments and no one wanted to get rid of him. They really do like him. Think he's a great bloke. So whether that's got any influence on the board, I don't know.
And it just been
given a
new contract.
Yeah, about 3 months ago they've done that.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
And
they're
we're
really happy
gonna-
with him at Forest,
We've got a
regardless.
bad run of form, I think, as well.
Hiya, Michael. Hope you're doing well. If Moyes wins the Europa Conference and keeps West Ham up, do you think Moyes will keep his job?
Yeah, they'll give him a 20-year contract if he does that.
Yeah, fucking hope not, but Jesus Christ.
We ain't winning that. We're not winning that. I can tell you that now.
Nope, he's done after this year.
Yeah, he needs to be gone, regardless.
Yeah,
of
he's
what
got to be.
happens.
His time's up,
But,
mate.
but Michael's got a point, though. How do you sack a manager who keeps you up in division? Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Uh,
wins your first trophy in, is it 33 years?
80, no more than that. 80, 42 years.
Is it 42
no, we
years?
1980, yeah. 43 years.
Yeah, 43, sorry. Do you
If
know
you
what?
don't count the Intertoto Cup that we won.
Watch this, yeah, Stu, and everybody. Quitting whilst you're ahead is not the same as quitting. Imagine for the first time ever, he can win a trophy and then say, you know what? I've had a good run. I've done more than, I think, 1,000 Premier League games. I've won a European trophy at West Ham. Then walk away. You understand? He's not. I don't think he's a top level manager, regardless of whether it's a West Ham or somebody else. Why not walk out, on a massive high? So if he did win that, it'd be the smart thing. It's only downhill for David Moyes after that. You're not going to get a job better than West Ham, and you ain't going to win another trophy at West Ham. So I would, if I was him, that would be my swan song. I'd be gone. And now you go down almost as a legend at West Ham, regardless of what's happening now. If you can win a European trophy, the club stays up. You got us, that would be Europe 3 seasons in a row, and we've never even done 2 before. You walk away from that, you've earned some crazy respect, regardless of what's going on here. So that's what I would do. If he won the Europa League, that's it. I'm done. I'll go out on the very highest point for him.
I kind of agree. I do, because you might as well go down as not a legend, but go down with at least the fans. At least the fans might said, you know what? Looking back, it won't be how Paul Moyes was. It'll be Moyes left after winning his trophy, kept us in division. Fair play with. I think that because if he stays, it could damage his reputation even more. But the problem is, though, I don't blame Moyes so much now, guys. I blame the board. I blame it's Sullivan and Brady and whoever else is on that board of directors, because he ain't going to walk. He's going to have to be pushed.
Yeah, they haven't got any insight into bringing a new manager in. They haven't got a clue. So they've stuck with him. For good or bad, they've stuck with him. And the other side of that coin is he could win the Conference League and get relegated.
Yeah.
So how do you feel? There'd be no joy to me winning that Conference League and getting relegated. Absolutely none. So, and plus, again, regardless of winning and that, I want to see him playing good football. We're not going to ever see it under him.
Nope.
So that's why I want him out. It ain't about the results. It's about what I'm seeing on the pitch. It's absolutely dire to watch. That's why I wanted him out. That's why I wanted Allardyce out of that club as soon as we got promoted, because I know what's coming. And it's just more and more of the same from Moyes. If he can hold on this year and keep us up, that's good enough. Thank you very much. Now, off you go. Bye-bye.
He's right. And if you think about it, yeah, if you showed the philosophy or the playing style of all 20 teams to a footballer who didn't know about the finances, he don't know about the history, he just knows what you're showing him about this team. You understand? Would Paqueta pick West Ham over Southampton? Probably not. Would he put them over Everton? Probably not, because West Ham don't create a lot of chances, don't play attractive football. We're probably the worst looking team in the league in regards to patterns of play and ball retention and all of that. So money will bring people to West Ham, but those people, if West Ham want to progress and start attracting a different caliber of player, you can't have David Moyes at the helm, because people will look at that and think, why am I going here? That does not suit my game. Like Skamaka, Kieran said it from the get-go. I don't see no point doing this unless we're going to change our style of play. We haven't changed our style of play.
Do you know what really annoys me? No, you watch that Brentford-Brighton game at the weekend. My word. It's so exciting to watch. Both teams play such a good brand of football. They're enjoyable to watch, regardless whether win or lose. Mate, why aren't we that? Well, who are Brighton, for Christ's sake? You know, for many, many years, they were no ones. But now they've got a setup, really good setup there. Didn't miss a beat by getting rid of Potter, which everyone thought they would. No, we've got this other guy lined up. Here he comes, and he's arguably been better since he's arrived.
No, he definitely.
But both them and Brentford play exciting, good football, and they're really small clubs. So it's achievable for anyone in the Premier League if you've got the right people in place and the right setup. And West Ham just can't do it. They just can't. Not with Moyes. They just never do it.
If Moyes stays, do you think you'll lose some of your big names? Do you think they'll want to move?
Yes.
You know, like your Piquetas and Scamacas. If Moyes keeps his job, do you think they'll want to move on?
Yep.
Yeah.
If he stays,
I believe so, yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Well, by all accounts, Scamacca's going anyway. That's what I've heard.
Oh, right. Look, I wouldn't blame him. If Moyes was going to stay, I wouldn't blame him. You know what I mean? Why would you stay? You'd be... Ings the same. I could see why Ings is... I watched him and he was going, for fuck's sake, this, that, as he walked off the pitch the other day. Because he was just pointless there, running around, you know, trying to press, a single man trying to press a back four. You know, that's not his game. He needs someone next to it. And all you could see the tactic was West Ham would get the ball with the kick, pass it out, pass it round the back, then pass it back, and then hoof it. And hope we played Souček further. Hope Souček could get on the end of it and flick it on for Ings or something. That was our tactic, or Moyes' tactic. Absolute dribble. It was absolutely.
That is his tactic.
Dismal to watch.
Hopeful.
Michael Brown says, "What must have a big juicy playoff for a couple of months at Chelsea? I think it was like 5 months, wasn't it? 6 months, something like that. It wasn't there long.
What's changed at West Ham then? You know, since you've had Moyes, because you've been up in top half at table as long as I can remember, and it's only this season. It's only this season.
At the beginning there, though, man, what you got to look at is the form. It's not just Moyes, but the form of players. Souček was a revelation when he came in. So was Soufal, right? Playing fantastically well. Antonio was on a little bit of a roll. He was banging in goals. Bowen was in his best form, got picked for England. We had players in form. And then we've lost quite a few players that people didn't think make a difference, like the Masuaku and Fredericks, you know, Diop. But maybe they did make a difference in the dressing room. Maybe they were a big part of that. We lost Noble as well. So, you know, that dressing room, you could see they were enjoying it then. And then you had Lingard come in for his stint, who was fucking unbelievable for the little short time he was there, you know, banging in goals left, right and centre. Yeah. So we had that. And then we bring in, because we kept holding on to players when we're still doing it, and we had to bring in a lot of players all at once. And then when you got the likes of Paqueta and Scamacca, that Moyes just aren't his type of players. I can't understand why we bought them, but we did. Right. And we bought Kehrer in, Emerson. I've all got to try and gel now, and they're not. And then I don't think these players work with Moyes. It just doesn't seem to fit. So there's been a big transition, and there's going to be another big transition at the end of this season. The likes of you know, Cresswell at the end of it, or Bonner at the end of it, probably Fabianski, and others.
Rice will be gone. Maybe
managers don't tend to change the principles, do they? This is why I can't. Why has it gone so wrong? Yeah. You know, how can you be in top 6 or top 10?
But when you do get in trouble with Moyes, he reverts back to his old Moyes, because we were quite a good counter-attacking side there for quite a while. Quite enjoyable. But he goes back to that, right, when we haven't got the ball, I want 9 people behind the ball.
Right.
And just slow it down.
Has it not always been like that?
Well, no, but we used to break with a little bit of pace. Lingard helped that a lot. Like Souček, like I say, was on the form of his life. And we were We weren't only that. There was a big period of time we were winning games by set pieces. You know, even without the counter attack, we were scoring goals left, right, and centre for set pieces. But you can't rely on just set pieces.
No.
And we were. And as soon as they dried up, then the results weren't going our way, and they have dried up until this weekend. It's very rare for us to score a set piece goal now.
Yeah,
So
Very rare. Where we were scoring them so weakly at one stage.
So it's obviously trying to play to the player's strengths rather than his system.
It's hard to know, man. It's hard to know. Like Souček should have been dropped a long time ago. He's been out of form for a long time. Can't even blame Souček in a moment.
Right.
He's still playing him, and he's been absolutely woeful in a few games now. So bad. So it's like we're a man down in the midfield, and then we're a man down up front because you've got Ings on his own. The tactics to me don't work.
Right.
But he keeps nicking that game he needs to stay there.
Yeah. I just wondered
And he'll justify it.
why it suddenly went from one extreme to other.
Yeah.
No.
It's hard to know, man. And even losing Dawson. Dawson was a great. He came in. He was another revelation when he came in.
Yeah.
Things like that, man. It's no.
What I would say, Mally, is when Moyes came in, you know, we were right near the bottom. Maybe the pressure, he's not the type of manager that can handle this pressure, the expectation. Also, you know, Alan Irvine, Stuart Pearce, that was a big difference. Yeah, they were behind the scenes, you know, set pieces and maybe certain tactics. Mark Noble's not there no more. And also, Moyes doesn't know, I don't believe, when to freshen it up, whether it's bringing in signings or making substitutions. He is so rigid. And you know, it becomes predictable for everybody. And also in football, sometimes that Brendan Rodgers at Leicester as well is at some point your message doesn't hit as hard anymore. People are not going to run through walls for you. And I feel that at West Ham, whilst we was winning and whilst we was, you know, getting into Europe and all of that, these players have got no option but to listen. We have faith in this guy. Once it's the same instructions and they are where they are, that message don't hit no more. And I've just got a feeling a lot of players, this is just you know, my gut feeling is that a lot of players do question David Moyes, whether that's in small groups or even when they go home and speak to their brother. You understand? I believe that people question his tactics. And so there's many reasons why West Ham is terrible this season, not as good. But there was a decline. It didn't start from this season. West Ham was bad from, I would say, most of last season as well.
Exactly, yeah. Well, like you said, Irvine might have been the big loss. He might have been, you know, the genius behind the face of Moyes.
Yeah.
That, you know, and once he left, our results did change once he left. We did seem to take a backward step after he left.
I can't remember what it was like at Man United tactically. You know, he might have had better quality players, but I can't remember what it was like. If he won anything,
he didn't. He hasn't won anything. I sent Kieran an article, and they said nobody. I think it's relatable to this country. No one in this country has managed as many games as he has and never won a trophy.
Right.
Ever. So
I don't know if he won. I didn't know if he won out at Man U.
No,
I can't remember him at Man U.
No, he hasn't, and that's why I said. The smart thing to do is if West Ham could somehow win that Conference League, is walk away. That would be your first trophy. It's a European trophy at a club like West Ham.
Yeah. And hang your boots up, boys.
That would be your that's when you drop the mic.
Even the likes of Brendan Rodgers now just getting sacked. Yeah, they're right. Leicester are looking terrible. They're on free fall, right, of going down. But even in his short stint or 4 years he's had at Leicester, he's won an FA Cup. Even that little stint at Leicester, and he still won a trophy, and he's at least 2 top 6 finishes, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he'd done a job there for a while.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, I've just gone through text message from chat messages. Now I've started this one because I want to come back to it. You two can answer this because I don't know why hasn't Moyes been sacked?
Kieran.
Incompetence of the ball.
It keeps picking up.
They just don't know who to replace him with. You know, it's not like Brighton. Brighton have got people lined up all over it. You know, they've got probably 2 or 3 picks for a new right back or a left back because they've lost lots of players over there. That hasn't affected them. They've got probably forwards lined up, everything. They had that manager lined up like that. Bang, in he comes. We haven't got that. You could ask Sullivan and Brady who you think that. I don't know. They'd be just that. Who's available? Benitez. They'd be the same old, trotted out. You know, the old dinosaurs of football management. They haven't got a clue. We haven't got that, and that's why he hasn't been sacked, because they don't know anyone better. And like they said, if we were in a relegation battle and we didn't have Moyes, we'd go and get Moyes. So that's their mentality.
Even though he put us, you know, as the manager in this situation, I think they're scared to. Once they got rid of him last time, we had to, you know, he kept us up. Then we changed the management. Then we went back to him. So I think that he holds all the power now in that relationship. And I think because of that, everything is on his terms and he can do no wrong regardless because of the past experiences. And I think, West Ham are almost being held to ransom because of, you know, what he's done and the fact that they might see it as, oh, you know, we shouldn't have let him go in the first place. So, yeah.
I'll tell you what, he's one of the few managers that can spend 180 million and get worse.
Yeah.
He's got that.
Crazy.
200 million if you include Danny Ings.
Yeah, probably 200 mil. You're right, Stu. 200 mil, and we look worse than we ever did. So
there's no compared to what Chelsea have spent, is it?
Yeah, that's
but they are foolish. As you can see, the money they gave Potter and the contract, they are foolish with money, aren't they, Chelsea? You know, that's a club run by a billionaire who's got deep pockets.
And they're worse. They're playing worse than them.
Yeah, they are.
With all that money.
Sure.
No matter what happens in Europe or in the league, if he walks, other Premier League opportunities will happen for him. If he gets sacked, no club in the Premier League in the future will ever touch him.
Is that Moyes Harmony's talking about?
Oh, I think they will. He'll walk into another job.
He won't get a top job though. Not now.
She's not saying that. She's saying any job.
Yeah, there could always be newly promoted teams that want to get rid of a manager who could do a job for.
Yeah.
But, I mean, my God, I wouldn't want him.
Michael Brown says, Miles won't walk away because he won't get a payoff. West Ham owners will need to sack him. Not many managers will walk away from their job as it breaks their contract. They get their payout when sacked.
You know what?
No.
Right? If he won that Conference League and he went to the, you know, he might have a year or two left in his contract. The board, if they were smart once again, they say, look, we've all come out of this smelling like roses because we, as the board, have said after 43 years, West Ham win a major trophy. After how many years they've won a European trophy, they can pay off David Moyes whatever he would have earned and say, look, you know, you've earned.
And call it mutual consent again.
Exactly. And then it's up to him what he wants to do with that. But they could actually just pay him off, you know, whatever it is after winning a trophy. Like they could even, you know, if they then sell the club, they can once again they can walk away saying, look, everything we've done, we had a plan, and we finally won West Ham a trophy in it. So I just think that I said this before. I think they are pinning their hopes on I think there's a belief with certain people at West Ham that we're going to win the Europa Conference League. I think that's what the board, even David Moyes, I think there's a strong belief of that. And that's why I don't think really his job has been under any real threat.
I think they also believe he'll keep you up.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
and to be honest, Manny, I think we'll stay up. But more in spite of Moyes, not because of him. But I still think we'll stay up. But, you know, is that an achievement with the money you spent?
Not really. But
no, not really. Not really.
It's better than going down, isn't it?
That's about it. It is better than going down. Sure.
If it was by mutual consent, they do. And Michael Brown, Titch and Kieran, would you want to see? Who would you want to see as West Ham manager? Would Graham Potter do a job at West Ham?
Fuck yeah. Yeah. He hasn't become a shit manager overnight, has he?
Yeah, bringing through your youth players, what all West Ham fans are desperate to see. You know, you're well known for your academy of football, aren't you?
Mm.
Get that back up and running again properly. Because you're under 18s. I didn't even league. You walked that league or something, didn't you? Under 18s.
I don't follow, but I know they was doing well in the league, but I don't know. Yeah, I think they were doing really well, but
Yeah, they had to get a point during the week to win the Premier League 2 Southern Division, and they lost 4-3. So I think they've got one more chance to do it. And plus, they're in the semi-final this week, I think.
of the FA Youth Cup.
Youth Cup or something. Yeah, they're in that semi-final as well.
I think for West Ham to get Potter, they'd have to act quick, especially if he's on Leicester's radar.
Yeah, I think Potter's, he's what's the name? He's still high. I think there's a lot of clubs would look at him and go, all right, Chelsea was a bit off a bit too much, more than you can chew, and didn't work out for whatever reason. But I still think he could do a good job at a club. But if I answer Michael's question, you know who I want? I want Big Ange. What's his name? Stewie?
Oh, sorry. Papadopoulos.
I would like Big Ange, but whether we can get him, I don't know.
I don't know, you know. Like I said, I kept saying Poch, but that was being highly unrealistic. So realistically, I don't know. And I'm not saying this is my
keeps getting mentioned.
You know what? I'm not saying this is my choice, but I would like to see somebody like Michael Carrick. I know they lost at the weekend to Huddersfield, but he's done a great job at Middlesbrough. He came through at West Ham, so he knows what it's about and the West Ham Academy. So I think, really and truly, I would rather going down that route where the person in charge knows what West Ham's all about, and we can see some players coming through. And at this minute in time, Michael Carrick fits that profile. He hasn't managed in the Premier League, but he was assistant at Man United for a very long time, or a coach there. So he was around Man United. He's worked under different managers, and he always retained his position there, even though managers got sacked in it. So, yeah, I think Michael Carrick for me would be. I wouldn't turn my nose up at Michael Carrick.
No, I wouldn't. And if they didn't get promoted this year, I think there's every chance someone might grab him.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't turn my nose up at that, even if it, if you use him as a project, a 3 or 4 year. Don't expect miracles in the first year. Look at it, like Arteta's done at Arsenal. They were woeful under Arteta at the beginning there. The Arsenal fans wanted him out and everything. He stuck to his principles. He stuck to why he wanted to play, and he's got them up with the help of a bit of money too. But still, they play good football and attractive football now, and they're looking. He's even turned Xhaka into a cracking player again. So, yeah, I think the likes of Carrick is someone. If you use him as a project, he just might get you there.
Yeah.
Well, Hammerhead says we'll finish on with 37 points. We'll be fine. You can see us going on a little run now, although we do have tough games. But we know, lads, we always seem to pull something off against bigger sides.
We used to.
Amani says Potter will be ideal for West Ham.
You know what? My only concern with Potter now is he looks, like he's devoid of any confidence. He looks like a broken man, and he might need a little bit of time out because he might have a lot of self-doubt, and I'm not sure.
Well,
yeah.
Titch, he will have a little bit of time because there's no way we're sacking Moyes to the end of the season. So
yeah.
If it was that, but having said that, this money he's getting from Chelsea, we ain't matching that. You know what I mean? It's simple. Does he want to take a massive pay cut and come to West Ham or not? That'll be a question.
Yeah, that's the thing. Now that he's got used to that money and that prestige at Chelsea, where's he going to go next?
What I found disgusting is the Chelsea players had zero respect for him. They used to give him right bad nicknames behind his back. All of them. All these high profile players who were 10th. You know what I mean? They want to look at themselves before they start calling out bloody managers' nicknames. Give themselves a big long lad look in the mirror and find out why they're not on 40 points yet. That know the algorithm. Big Ange Postecoglou. That's it. Big Ange. Carrick would be would use West Ham to gain experience to one
And
day
why not?
manage at Man United.
That's fine. You know what I mean? If he can come and make West Ham better for 3 or 4 years, and then get called to a bigger club, good luck to him.
Everyone's got to start somewhere, haven't they, Kieran?
Yeah, exactly. That's what he's doing at Middlesbrough, isn't he? Really?
Yeah, the same with Company. I don't think Company expects to stay Burnley manager for the next 10 years. Do you know what I mean? He's used Burnley to get in, into English game. Now he's going to be an English Premier League manager. They're tipping him to be Pep's replacement, aren't the Company? If he brought us success, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were tipping Patrick Vieira to become Arsenal's manager. That went pear-shaped, didn't it?
Well, same with Steven Gerrard would tip to be Liverpool's manager, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Like you said, though, Chich, the amount of experience that Carrick's had at Man United, even under different managers, and they still kept him part of the coaching team. Yeah, and maybe that's held him in good stead at Middlesbrough, He's had a lot of experience at that assistant coaching role under big managers. So now he's took it on himself and he's doing well with it. Whether they get promoted or not, I don't know. I haven't seen the table there. I don't know where they are. I know they're doing well.
They're third. They're probably.
He's good. Yeah. And if he did get into the Premier League, I think there'd be big teams looking at him, but he'd want to prove himself with that team in the Premier League, that he could, stay there, try and get mid-table and do a decent job with them. And if he could do that, then his stock is going up, isn't it, all the time?
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I don't think 37 points will be enough. Another crazy season, similar to when you went down on 42 points. I think at least 40 points will be needed.
I think 37 will be enough myself.
Manny 36 will be more than enough. This season, in my opinion, 37 points is enough. Stupid autocorrect. Nobody's Brubicic. Nobody's at all.
I wouldn't guarantee it, mind you. I wouldn't guarantee it, but I do think 37 at this moment in time is looking like a good number. But you can't say put your hat on that, can you? You never know.
You've got to win as many games as you can from now till the end of the season, and hope for best you win enough points somewhere.
That game, West Ham Leeds, is going to be. I'm just hoping that it's not a scenario where both teams can still go down, or one is looking at sending everyone down.
That'll be frightening.
Yeah.
Well, I promise that I will try and be as level-headed as I always am when hosting this channel. So
bollocks to that, mate. If we're both fighting a drop and one of us is going, mate, it ain't us. You're getting it.
That's right. I can't believe Stuart said that. I can't.
Yeah, no level-headed there, mate. We're both going at each other.
Absolutely. It's all right.
Yeah, I've got to be level-headed, haven't I?
No, you don't. No, you bloody
don't. Not when it comes to your own team in that situation.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We'll be level-headed off at camera when camera's not rolling.
You can be a West Ham fan on Wednesday. Tomorrow, you're a Leeds fan.
I'm a Leeds fan tomorrow. I'm a Leeds fan. I've always said that. As soon as that team news comes out an hour before kickoff, draw with Newcastle on Wednesday. I reckon 2-2. I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
I don't think we're capable of scoring 2 goals.
They are by far the best defensive. They've got the best defensive record. I think they've let in 19 goals this season. We don't look like scoring 2. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if we could score 2 against a team like Newcastle.
Yeah, so even against Southampton, apart from the goal, I can't remember their keeper making a save worth talking about.
No,
I really don't.
No, there wasn't anything.
crossbar made a save, didn't it? And that was it.
He should have passed then as well. When Bowen hit the crossbar, he should have squared it to, I don't know who was there, but they would have a free shot unopposed. And he shot on his weaker foot. Obviously, if it goes in, then yeah, fantastic.
Yeah,
but it
that's
has
right.
to go in. If you ain't going to
Yeah.
pass, that's got to go in.
Yeah.
Can it? I mean, I've heard that. I've heard. You know what I'm like. I live a sad life. When in my spare time, I watch YouTube channels, and I've heard a lot of people calling Bowen selfish and greedy.
I think he's very good. I'd have him.
Yeah.
I'd have him. I'd have him a heartbeat.
Sometimes you have to be selfish, don't you? Sometimes
Yeah,
it's just. But there are times, and I think I saw it with Tottenham tonight, where the guy, all you had to do is lay it to the right, they tap it in, and takes the shot on and puts it over the bar. Crazy.
Yeah.
I remember the great Arsenal team when Thierry Henry was in there. The times they got broke at one-on-one with the keeper and just squared it in and tapped it in. They do it all the time. You always take the 100% option rather than the 60-40 one. They always made sure of scoring a goal.
Yeah.
And I thought they were really good at that. Just making sure that goal. It was so easy to pass it sideways. And I've seen it in a few games this weekend where the guy was free to his right, and all the guy had to do was pass it to him, and he took the shot on, the keeper saved it. And you go, wow, that's a big mistake for me.
And you know, if you want to get out of bad habits, so what's to say that I'm going to use Bowen as an example. He should have squared it. And it would have been a better opportunity to score than him shooting with his right foot from there.
And that's when he got way up. Yeah. Good players weigh that up really quickly.
Good preparation, you square it. Now, this would suggest that in that game against Newcastle, you're going to do the same thing and just go for self-glory.
A striker'll shoot water.
Yeah.
A striker.
Mainly.
Striker'll shoot every time. I mean, you've only
But there are some. If he hasn't got that silly option where he knows it, the little pass to his right or left is a tap-in. You know, you see it. Good players know when to take that shot on. They know they can score, and when maybe it's not. My angle's not quite the best. I'll give it to him.
I think strikers can be greedy.
They can, that. And you need a bit of greed in a striker too. You need a bit, but not ridiculous greed where a simple goal and you miss it. But they do need to be a bit greedy to take them shots on that other players wouldn't and score from them. Like Keane tonight. What was he doing? He turned into a striker and hit an absolute belter, didn't he?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Couldn't even see it, Larice. Bang.
Amani says, sorry, Magpies are going to win 4-0. Obviously, it's not optimistic, but what's it like without it? Life.
What's life like?
What's life without it? Yeah. Stuart, is West Ham pyjamas ready? Charlie boy.
Charlie knows.
Yes, Charlie boy is shiny, brand new.
Silk. They're silk, by the way.
Arsenal will bottle it.
I can't see Arsenal. Well, they got to play City, but yeah. They can't blow it, man.
I can't see it.
No,
I can't see it
because
I don't think it's over yet. But I can't see them blowing it. But I think there is a wobble in them here and there. But we'll see.
Just get through last of these comments, guys, and then we'll start pin up. They come with a bottle of bubbles to Amani, our pajamas. I told you if I could fit into them, I'd buy a pair just to wind you all up. Bowen should have dumped it, or should have pumped it off to Paqueta.
Yeah, that's who it was.
I'm going to say it was Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Stewie's sitting in his bedroom blowing bubbles in his Hammer's pajamas or silently singing bubbles. Cheers, Hammerhead. Love you too. Charlie boy says Bowen never looks up.
Yeah, head down a lot.
I don't think many strikers do.
But he's not a striker though. He's a winger. So he should be.
Would you class Salah? Would you class Mo Salah as a winger?
Not really, would you? No.
He plays basically the same position as Bowen, don't they?
Yeah.
He's always over on right wing, coming in on his left. So
I don't
always
class.
think- I thought-
Yeah, I don't class Salah as a striker. I never ever classed Messi as a striker either.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that, isn't it? You class him as a forward or a striker. To me, the striker is your number 9, and the others are just forward players
Yeah.
Right.
who score goals. So it's splitting hairs, I suppose.
So you had strikers and wingers.
Alan's
Yeah,
definitely a
he's a forward.
striker, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair
Alan's
enough.
definitely a striker, isn't he?
He's a striker, all right.
Stu blows steam out of his bubble pipe. I do out of my pipe. Choo Stu. Thank you very much, Hammerhead. Well, has anyone got else want to say before we start wrapping up, guys?
Predictions for tomorrow?
Just the Leeds game. I'm gonna go Leeds 3, Nottingham Forest 1.
Wow.
Yeah. 2-0 to Leeds. Not a problem. Blow 'em away.
I'll go 2-0, Kieran.
That's it.
I'm gonna go 2-1. I think that Baron Johnson or whatever he's called.
Brennan Johnson.
Yeah, I think he's gonna score tomorrow. He looks some player, Titchim. I'd have him tomorrow.
Yeah,
What's it? This one?
Brennan Johnson for
Johnson.
Forest and Wales. He plays for as well.
Oh, was that the gazer at the top corner the other day?
Yes. Against,
Is that him?
It must be. He's been scoring for them a lot. Mixed race guy. He plays for Wales.
Yeah, got him. Yeah, he is. I think he was the boy that cut inside on his left and banged the top corner.
Yeah,
must be him.
He's fairly quick as well. So yeah, he's a threat.
So are we gonna do a West Ham prediction then while we're at it?
Yeah, we better do, aren't we? Because they play Wednesday. West Ham v Newcastle.
Right. I'm gonna try and be as optimistic as I can, and I'm gonna say 1-1.
I hope you're right.
That's optimistic.
It's at London Stadium, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2-0 to Newcastle. Sorry.
Yeah.
After
I'm not feeling it with this one at all. I just can't even go for a point after watching that against Southampton.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Well, no, I think we're in for a 2-0 loss.
Stu? He got his West Ham slippers on.
Mm.
1-0. Isaac to score for Newcastle. And God, who's going to score for West Ham?
Souček.
Moyes.
Yeah.
Do you know something? I'm going to say someone who doesn't score all the time. I'm going to go Rice. I think Rice will step up tomorrow. I do. I think Rice will step up on Wednesday. It's got to. You need him. I mean, even if he's going or not, which the likelihood is he is. I'm hoping that he can do everything he's got for the next 10 games. You know, I mean, let's be honest. His performance level doesn't drop, does it? It's 7, 8 out of 10 a game, every game.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He wants it more. I do think he wants to keep West Ham up.
Yeah.
He would want to lose West Ham knowing that he was captain who got him relegated.
I'll tell you, I can see Isaac scoring for them. And who's the other boy that we've been linked? Oh, he always scores against us.
Alan Wilson.
Huh?
Wilson.
Yeah. He'll score.
The thing is that Newcastle have got so many that can score goals, haven't they?
Yeah.
It's the pace. I think the pace is going to kill us.
St. Maximum and Almiron. Gilmaresh.
And then they've got Joe Linton.
Because when I watched it at Man United, St. Maximan was ripping them apart down that left. Oh my God. Having him running at you.
Yeah.
I'm scared. Really scared of that.
Who's your right back?
Kerr at
Well,
the minute.
it was Kara this week. It's him or Sue Fowl.
Right.
Kerr's going to need a carer to help him.
They had to put 2 on him. You got to put 2 or 3 on him.
But it wouldn't surprise me if we went back to 3 at the back.
Mm.
It wouldn't surprise me if we went to 3 at the back and 5 across the midfield to have,
Right.
a midfielder each side protecting the left side and the right side to double up on what's coming at you. That wouldn't surprise me. But I don't know. With Moyes, I've given up trying to predict what he does.
And this is a game where he'll be under no pressure again because he won't be expected to win it. So we won't feel no pressure.
Even if we don't get a result, Moyes will not want us to concede 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, that'll be in his mindset. We'll have 9 and 10 men behind the ball. When we haven't got it, I'm telling you, it's going to be a dire game to watch for us. Absolutely dire.
Charlie Boy say 3-1 at Newcastle. Amani's reckons that Rodrigo hat-tricks incoming, Mally. I hope she's right. We've got to start fast. Sorry again, 4-0 Magpies.
Yeah.
Fabianski scores.
Oh,
Only one man.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we haven't got him. We haven't got him.
Manny, that was our only genuine pace. That was Wally's favourite, Ryan Fredericks.
All right.
He had real pace. Yeah.
Right.
They're rapid.
We need your boy Wally.
Mm.
We do for this match, Charlie Boy. Right, well, look, guys, thank you very much for watching this first edition of the social. Hopefully, we can do it again. There's a lot more to talk about in this one. There's a lot more.
Yeah, when we've had the games.
Yeah, I think it's and we'll keep the extra time going, even if it's for an hour on a Friday. It's just so TD5 feels part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't commit to it on a Monday with school and stuff, so.
Well,
I don't want to leave it behind.
Come next Monday, Jesus, a lot would have happened from now till next Monday, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
A lot. God, we don't know where we're going to be next week.
We'll have both played 2 games.
Yeah. Massive.
All change next week.
I'm happy if we've got another 3 points by next week, next Monday. If we've got another 3 on the board, I'll take it.
I'll take 6.
Take care, all. Thanks,
See you later.
guys. Cheers, Wally.
See you, Will.
Nighty night, you lovely lot. And nice one, boys. Cheers, Charlie.
Cheers, Charlie boy. Harmony.
Nice fun.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for watching this disabled team, and it's a goodbye from me.
Goodbye from
Ciao.
me.
Ciao from me.
Goodbye to me. See you later, boys.
See you later, boys. Good luck on Wednesday.